to do this project, we had to do, let's say, a teaser trailer before we got the fund for the film, and that was a very important moment. So because the chemistry was automatic when I met Ruth, and especially when we were together, me, Ruth, and Dorothy. I think we are all very this childish energy, from the childhood. We three of us, we still have it very present in our ways of talking and behaving. And so this is very characteristic of those characters. And Ruth, well, she is a person, she is very, how do you say, dynamic and very versatile, So we could really find common places in our way of thinking and in the way we could build up these two characters. So I was very how do you say, happy and to have the chance to play with someone that most of the times I could discover Edie by having to just to play with Ruth, without pretending to bring some characteristics from Edie, because Ruth she's so, how do you say, attentive, and she is an actress with whom you can play without having to explain too many things. We spent so many hours together in the track, and the question is, how do you reinvent yourself? Because usually when you are, how do you say, constructing, building a role, play a character, you do it here in the living room, walking on the streets. You don't do it sitting inside of a cab or inside of a cafe, or especially inside of a truck cabin, So there was no way to try to not be what the scene, what that moment needed from us, and that was very magical.
Yes, we see it's really magical too, from the film and from the behind the scene footage. We understood that. How would you describe your character Edie with your own words? You mentioned that he's a traveler, but do you have anything to add?
It's a traveler as I am. This is a characteristic that we have in common. And I would say that he's a tricky boy, a tricky man. He didn't grow, how do you say, in the sense of becoming adult, I think he had a very, how do you say, happy life, happy childhood, so that he took it to itself and that he can share it with the people that he gets in touch. So, and I think that is even inspiring, and that is a characteristic which is very common in the African cultures, let's say like this, which is something that we should keep and we should share with our how do you say, our friends, our fellows. Besides this, I think he is also a very intelligent man, very sensitive, and beyond the odds he can have, not against someone in particular, but against maybe the hyper westernized culture, But in this movie, I believe the director and the script writer find some moments where we can overcome those cultural clashes, So, and this reveal how the character is permeable, somehow. And I think it is very important to have a character like this, that in first instance, it might reproduce some stereotyped ideas about Black men coming from Africa, but by being on the side with Ruth, on the side of Erica, we have the chance to get to know different aspects of a Black man, especially a Black man which is in transit, And I think this is a characteristic that it's the pearl of the movie, either from the side of Edie, but also from the side of Erica as a woman who is playing a role mainly played by men, by heteronormative people, you know. So I think the movie has a lot of very thoughtful aspects that should be brought to the table and open dialogues about it.